Welcome to it, the first edition of Big Al and CJ, and today is a special day because we are finally getting a chance to play Georgia Tech for the national championship that unfortunately we had to split.
Is that why today is special?
Today is special because this is our first time doing this podcast, so it's kind of cool. But a lot of sports headlines out there, But what makes this day special, CJ, is because we said that we were going to do this maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and we're finally getting around to doing it. So it's kind of cool. So I'm happy about that. But being here at the University of Colorado, things have really changed. I mean, all of the things that we knew about the University of Colorado from 3 years ago, I mean, it's really absolutely flipped. And especially when you start talking about the impact of Deion Sanders and what he's done to this program and how he's really flipped it around. We're at the start of the college football season, but the last cut downs for the NFL just happened, and the University of Colorado not only represented itself well as far as the NFL draft goes, but 8 of its players last year made NFL rosters this year, which is a huge statement considering there's only 12 or 13 players that are in the NFL prior to these 8 players making the roster. This is a big change.
It's a big change. And I'm going to tell you what's crazy about it. And we'll break that down a little bit more as we get along with it. But I think Coach Prime has done, if not the best, certainly one of the top 2 or 3 best jobs in the country, given the program that he inherited a couple of years ago. Going from 1-11 to 4-9 to 9-4. Going from being completely obsolete and obscure on the college football landscape to now everyone's talking about the University of Colorado. Big fella, this is one of the great jobs in college football in the past probably 2 or 3 decades, and I think it's gone underappreciated because of all of the peripheral storylines around Coach Prime.
And that was it was kind of ugly. It was sweet to start off with, and then it got ugly, and you had so many different orators talking about the University of Colorado and how they were doing things the wrong way. Well, it's turned into the blueprint, really. I mean, if you have good players on your team, pay them. If you have good players on your team, play them. And the pay and the play for the University of Colorado has just been there, and that's how you end up with 8 guys on NFL rosters. And I'm so anxious to see whether or not schools like Stanford make this jump. I mean, they have the endowment to do so. They've chosen not to. So I can't wait to see how the rest of the college community uses Coach Prime's formula, if you will.
He has sort of created the formula, but something you just said, you almost kind of slipped it by, but I'm going to bring you back.
Come on with it.
You said pay and play.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new statement because historically it's been just play. I'm curious, and I love. We'll get into this more because, and let me take a step back. We'll talk a lot about football and about sports and all that stuff, but the culture of college football has completely changed, and I think that's something I want to talk about a lot. I'm sure it's something we'll talk about a lot because when you talk about the pay part of it, there's a lot of folks out there who don't quite get it, don't quite understand it. It's foreign to sort of old schoolers like many of us. People, what are you? I'm 52. What you're a little bit
38.
older. You what?
38 today. 38. 38 in the waist, pretty in the face.
Man. Anyway, man. But the whole pay aspect of college athletics now, I think, has completely changed the game in so many ways.
Right.
It's changed how people look at the game.
Right.
So, interesting conversation.
I think when you start talking about, we have a young man on this University of Colorado roster that's making over $1.8 million in 1 year, and to me, I think that's cool. I mean, some people may not like the fact that these guys are getting that kind of money, but I think it's what's supposed to happen. I mean, for how many years have we seen universities out there hide its earnings by dumping it into facilities? How many times have you seen teams give you a financial report, and on the financial report it basically said they didn't make any money because they they were throwing all the money into facilities,
Sure.
or whatever you want to say. They throw it into the coaching staff, facilities, the ramp up for some other thing other than paying the kids. I hated that. Now that's the part that I really hated, and now that it's gone, I feel like you can get a true sense, a true value of the impact that college football brings. You could do, if you really looked at it, college football is going to produce more revenue than the NFL by 3 or 4 times.
Oh, no question. When you look at,
we're talking about a massive proposition for these kids to go out there and earn money. I think that's the right thing.
let me ask you this. Let's go back 35 years.
Okay.
Let's say there was an NIL and revenue share.
Right.
Current dollars, current money value.
Okay.
How much money would Alfred Williams have made his 3 or 4 years at the University of Colorado?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I know you've done the math, bro. I know you.
I haven't.
There's not a number that goes by you, bro. I know you've done the number.
I haven't actually done the number because I don't believe it's. I don't understand the mindset. I chose the University of Colorado because they didn't give me money.
Money was illegal there.
Money was illegal.
So you're a high integrity guy.
Well,
you're a moral dude.
Well, I got to explain this. Why I chose the University of Colorado, because a lot of people don't understand and know why I chose the University of Colorado. When I was coming out of high school, this was in the 80s, okay? And in the 80s, SMU got the death penalty. So when SMU got the death penalty, what ended up happening is my high school coach told me that all the schools that were cheating were also going to get the death penalty. So every time I took a visit to these schools that
Oklahoma State. I'm not saying any names, bro. Oklahoma.
So all these schools that were offering
Nebraska. Hey, bro, go ahead, man.
Hey, listen, all of these schools that were
Texas. Look, man, listen. The statute of limitations has run out. Tell the people who offer you money. I want to know how much money they offered you, bro.
Well, if you find my official visits, everybody except the University of Colorado offered me money. But I just thought that it was going to lead to.
What was the biggest bag?
One coach had a briefcase.
What was in it?
Cash, straight cash.
How much money was in the briefcase?
I don't know, because I didn't take it. I mean, I wasn't going to sit there and count it, but I mean, so that's why I say, like, I don't know. It's a different playing ground.
What color was the bag?
It was a black briefcase. Yeah, it was.
Black and orange?
No.
Hey, man, why you listen, man? It
was a different day. It was a different day and a different time. But I tell you, if the current existing rules are in place today that are in place now, it's not a question about where would you go, it's would you stay.
Well, if the money was right.
Not only does the money have to be right, but the situation has to be right, or else, what's also new in today's football, a kid can just say, I'm leaving.
True.
Because a kid can come in and say, hey, this year I'm going to make $1.8 million from you, and if it doesn't feel right, I'll go make $1.8 million from another team. And so that's also new, and I love that. I love it, man. I love the fact that these kids are pseudo free agents after every season, like the coaches have been.
I think Shador made somewhere around $4 million last year. Arch Manning, I think, is slated to make almost $7 million this year. The game has completely changed, and I'm asking you, listen, if you love it so much, then I want you to tell me what your current day value would be, man.
I don't know. I mean, I was.
I'm gonna give you a number. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it would be. You threw some numbers out. 1.8. I think there's a couple on CU's roster that's right at 1.8.
Yep, at least a couple.
Big Al, Alfred Williams, 2-time All Big 8 Player of the Year. First round draft pick. All that stuff came after the fact.
Right. But coming out of high school.
Yeah, but my guess is you would have taken the pay cut going to the NFL.
Well, I mean, we're talking about different numbers now, but
I think
that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, it was I was a
you were a defensive player
and I was a good football player.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
You a defensive player. The money is on offense. Let's just face it.
Okay, well, you can say that, but I can also tell you this. Given the opportunity to do it all over again, I wouldn't choose a different situation for me. I mean, I love my time at the University of Colorado. Yeah, I love my time here.
We'd have had a lot more fun if you'd have had $2 million in your pocket.
Oh, a lot more fun. And maybe that would have been the case with this coaching staff. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine the stories. I mean, the stories are already like, I don't even know if the statute of limitations are up on some of these stories, but the stories are already. Imagine us walking around this campus right behind us. By the way, we're at Mr. Oso's on campus. If you're tuning in live, come on over to Mr. Oso's over at the Moxie Hotel and have a cocktail with us. Holla at your boys. But right across this street right here, man, right there, the stories that we have.
Right.
The good, the bad, the ugly. Don't touch the chest.
Slurps, slacks, and turfs. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, now we're gonna slow that down.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, man, we're a little bit extra. And there's a lot of people who, I think, to some degree, in bad faith. There's some people who make, I think, a good faith argument that the money has changed the game.
It has not.
I don't think it has either.
No, man. I mean, we've been going to practice.
That's right.
And we've been down on those same practice fields that we practiced on.
It looks like football.
It looks like football. It feels like football. Those kids are giving everything they have, and I'm quite sure it's happening in Boulder. It's happening everywhere. You know, football is football, and it's gonna take a great team effort to get any win. Like I said, to start off the show with 8 guys that are playing in the NFL off of this roster. 8 guys are on NFL rosters that played for the University of Colorado. And you can do that when you got a coach like Deion Sanders. You got a guy like Marshall Faulk, Warren Sapp, Andre Gerard, 5-time Pro Bowler that played for the University of Colorado and then played for the Dallas Cowboys, is on this roster as its offensive line coach. And then you go on the defensive side. I mean, it's just, it's Coach Livingston was a NFL safeties coach for the Cincinnati Bengals, and he's your defensive coordinator. Pat Shermer was an NFL head coach. He's your head coach. This roster of players and coaches, it's amazing, especially the coaches right now. If you want to be a pro, if you really want to be a pro, the University of Colorado is where you learn how to play to become a pro.
Man, that's a hell of an endorsement, man.
That's what. Hey, look, I used to hear this conversation. This conversation used to always take place when I was playing, and I hated it. I always hated it because, I used to always ask coaches, why aren't there more NFL players that are that are coaching in the NFL? Why aren't there more NFL players that are coaching in college? You know what they say? Because they're too talented and they think that everybody is supposed to do what they did.
I remember hearing that. Yeah.
What a bullcrap statement to throw out at people who are part of this special game.
I totally agree.
If they can play, they probably can coach. Give them a chance.
You know where else we've seen a big change, not just on coaching staffs, but in the media as well. See a lot of former players now giving their opinions about games and about analyzing coaches and coaching staffs and football teams. I really love the explosion of former athletes getting involved in the game beyond playing the game and all the different sort of aspects or areas around the game. That's been really cool, a big fella. Yeah. And no one has done it probably better than you. I mean, you've been, hell, speaking of NIL and, revenue share money, hell, if you accumulate the money you made in radio, that put all that to shame.
You know what?
I'm just saying, man. You want to give us that number?
No, I don't want to give you that number.
Oh, you want to give?
I've had fun.
When we talk. Hold on, man. Hold on.
I've had fun.
We talk, man. Numbers never a problem for you when we talking offline. Now, all of a sudden, you don't want to.
What do you mean? What do you want to know?
I just want to know how much money you made. How much money did you make in radio compared?
I made more money in radio than I did in playing football.
Wow, bro. That's amazing, man.
But I've also
congratulations.
I've also been in radio for 24 years. So what do you want me to say? I mean, I only played in the NFL 9 years.
Okay, but if you add up the actual hours you played and prepped, In the NFL compared to the actual hours you were on air and prep
What
for
does
radio?
that mean? Does that mean going back to my high school days, my college days, and my time in the league?
No, I'm just talking NFL.
About?
I'm just talking NFL.
Well, you act like you just wake up one day and you're in the NFL. Doesn't the college experience count? Doesn't the high school experience count?
I got a question, man. Question for you, bro.
What?
Why did you text me that this morning?
Why did I text you what?
You want me to say it? You want me to say it?
What did I text you?
All right, I'll just go with the one. Like,
What did I text you?
I've been.
And when you say morning, was this after midnight or was it at 8 p.m.? What are we talking about when you say
Okay,
morning?
we go with the PG one.
Okay. Which was?
And this is a question I got for big guys, period, man. Why do all big guys always give nicknames for everything they possess, right? And it's always big something. Every homeboy I know.
Oh, you talking about the name of my car?
No, every homeboy I know that's over 300 pounds, man. They're naming their possessions, and it always starts with big.
Well, the name of my car is Big Sexy. You know, so that's if that's what you're talking about. Is that what you're talking about?
Why?
Because I think it's big and I think it's sexy. I mean, what would be the name of your car? What would be the name of your car?
That's a good question, man.
What would be the name of your car?
That's a good question, man. That's a good question. I'm gonna give it some thought, but you know, guys like me, the more cerebral.
What would you name
the more
your
cerebral
car?
type.
I
We
mean,
don't
what
think
would you
about
name?
things like
Let's say
that.
you were a tennis shoe. What would you name your car?
I probably name it Smooth Efficiency.
That makes no sense.
Chocolate.
It makes sense to you.
Hey,
Certainly
man.
doesn't make sense to
I'm
me.
saying, but you know, guys like me don't think about stuff like that, bro. That's not like I think you think about like it's got to be big.
Well, I mean,
and
my car is a big car. I'm a big guy. You know, I mean,
are you big sexy?
I've been called that before, amongst other things.
From anyone outside the family?
Well, they're now the family.
No, they're now the family. No, it's just an aside, man, because you always do that, man. It's always, you know, big bro, big baby.
There you go. Yeah.
You know
you're
what I'm
right about
saying?
that. I never thought about it.
Yeah,
Never thought about it.
you know, but it's always big guys. I never see normal-sized human beings, you know, sort of prefacing everything with big. You know, like Brandon Cristallo, he probably do it tiny, like tiny car.
I don't know if that's. You know what I did?
Tiny sexy.
I do have to tell you this.
BK.
So I heard
tiny sexy.
So I have to tell you this, and you'll probably understand. So I was at the shopping mall the other day, and I went into the Apple store, and this lady was in the Apple store. She was 5 foot tall. She asked me, as she looked up, "How tall are you?" And I tell you, man, it took everything out of me not to say, "How short are you?" If she asks me how tall I am, do I get to say, "How short are you?"
Yeah, I think you do.
And it'd be okay, huh?
I think it will. In that situation.
That would be okay?
I think that would be okay in response to her question to you, but I don't think you should walk up to her and say, "How short are you?"
Or you get a question like, "How's the weather up there?"
That's just stupid. That's just stupid.
I mean,
That's just stupid.
you never get these questions.
Who don't?
You, because what are you, 5'8", 5'9"? How tall are you?
5'11".
You're not 5'11". You're not 5'11".
I'm 5'11".
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
I didn't even know they stopped crap that high.
Hey man, look. Let's get back to Let's get back to something that makes some kind of sense here.
Okay, go ahead.
CU.
Okay.
We talked about this game, Georgia Tech, back in many of you may not even know the story. Back in 1990, CU wins the Orange Bowl. It thrust us into national championship status. A day later, now that was the AP poll. A day later, the UPI poll, the coaches poll, votes Georgia Tech the national champion. It creates this or split national champion situation, right?
Right.
And that's right. A lot of boos in the crowd from that. Now, that said, and by the way, the circumstances that led up to that, our own conference foe, Tom Osborne, votes Georgia Tech over Colorado. Now, we went into his backyard with all the cheese on the table. Everything is being played for. Both teams are playing to represent the old Big 8 conference in the Orange Bowl.
For a potential national championship.
We go in there and we beat his team at full throttle.
Yeah. Beat them handily. Now, they go on and lose to Georgia Tech in the Citrus Bowl. Now, it was the Citrus Bowl game in which a good number of their starting players have been suspended. Once we beat Nebraska, they had nothing else to play for, and they kind of fell off the rails a little bit. I personally think, and this is my personal opinion, Dr. Tom Osborne, a Hall of Fame, great coach for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, had a bad moment. I think his envy, his disappointment, probably his dislike of Bill McCartney, I don't know, influenced him to vote against his conference fellows, his conference brothers, for a national champion. Of all of it, and look, give Georgia Tech their credit. They were 11-0-1 that year. But I think it's pretty much a consensus that most people feel like the University of Colorado, having played the toughest schedule in the country that year, actually earned the right to be crowned and named national champion. You know, I kind of look at it. Like Tom Osborne was really jealous that the University of Colorado was about to do something that he hadn't achieved yet as the head coach of a storied Nebraska, football team that he helped shape and turn into a national power. But we were about to do something, and we did. We did something before he could ever do it, and that's to win a national championship.
That's right.
Now, they came back and won with Tommy Frazier multiple national championships. So it's not that. You can see how he could want to do the right thing, but couldn't because of the jealousy. I think it was a jealous moment. I think that if he had to do it all over again, he would give Coach Mack and the University of Colorado, our football team that year, the nod. Looking back at it. Because, when you have, I guarantee you this, if it was Tom Osborne after he won a national championship, probably would have gave the vote. But don't forget now, Coach Mack, while he was at the University of Colorado, Coach Bill McCartney, while he was at the University of Colorado, did something that no one else did that played Nebraska. That game was in red letters for us from the time we walked on the campus until the week of the game. And to be in that situation, knowing that that game was highlighted and knew that game would mean something, that took tremendous foresight from Coach Bill McCartney, but it also took a new emphasis on the game, and maybe they didn't like being targeted because we absolutely targeted the University of Nebraska.
But again, all that said, you would think a guy who was even up to that point so accomplished as a coach,
but hadn't won the big one.
But
had not won the big one.
So are you making an excuse for him, or are you saying that's just the reason?
I'm telling you, I think that's
you
what
wouldn't
happened.
have done that.
Come
you
on,
wouldn't have done
come on,
that.
Black. Listen. We were doing something. We were about to do something that he had never done, and that's win a national championship. I believe that was a weak moment for him, that he was jealous, and he did not feel like the new upstart University of Colorado deserved to be in that situation.
We were pretty much a consensus in the AP poll. It was one vote, and it was the deciding vote, and it was the last vote. That's the crazy thing about.
I know. Yeah.
Tom Osborne knew that vote would determine in the UPI poll. So, again, I don't want to belabor that, but that's one that sticks to my craw.
He had a unique vantage point because he did play against both schools. But we beat Nebraska in Nebraska.
With all at stake.
On a
everything
rainy,
at stake.
Sleet day that was cold. And we went in there. We went in there. I mean, it was a wonderful time in my life.
In all due respect to my Georgia Tech friends out there, you can't win a national championship having played in a Citrus Bowl. The Citrus Bowl cannot crown the national champion. Am I lying?
I kind of like that.
You can't be a national champion after winning the Citrus Bowl. Anyway, man, hey, look, you mentioned Coach Mack. Big fella, man. You gotta relax, man.
I mean, you're the one.
That's not a quarterback. Table. That's not a quarterback.
It's on your table.
Here's the deal.
I didn't do anything.
Bill McCartney, Coach Prime.
Right.
I see so many similarities in these two guys, man.
Right.
And part of
that is so well said.
Like part of what motivates me in this podcast, I think there's two different sort of CU fans or even college fans these days.
Right.
Those who sort of appreciate the newness and the pomp and circumstance of today's college football. Right. That is, so much of it is social media driven. It's lights, camera, action. And then there are those who perhaps were college football fans from as far back as we go.
Right.
The old sort of pageantry of college football and the establishment that was yesterday. I think there's a gap or a bridge to draw to join these two extremes, right? Because there's not much difference. And when I say Bill McCartney and Coach Prime, I'm pointing out the fact that there's not much difference because those two men, in so many ways, are so much alike.
You couldn't have said it better. Maybe from the outside, you don't really see how similar they are, but if you've been around the program like we have, you understand that both men have tremendous faith. Okay, they both have tremendous faith that they talk about and they share with anybody who will listen. But it's not really forced upon you about how they feel about their faith. But if you want to listen, they'll tell you. And I think that's admirable. I think Coach Prime is maybe as humble of a head coach as you can imagine. And I know there's a Prime effect here. He's a showman, but I do believe in my heart that he is just a humbled person to be in this situation. And it feels good to me to have him on the sidelines for the University of Colorado. And I know there was a moment, and I'll speak for me, when he became the head coach, where there were statements made about bringing in Louis, and there was some there was, we got rappers around, and, some of the guys that are still showing up that are close friends and Hall of Famers, and it felt like it was a showboat, a show, but you kind of needed to do that.
Right.
Not looking back at it, you say, well, if we don't do that, how do we get 8 guys on NFL rosters 2 years later? He had to bring the profile of the University of Colorado back up. And he did it in class, he did it in style. A lot of people that were part of the alumni faction didn't really like it, didn't understand it. But looking back now, I guarantee you, if there were, let's just say 30% of people that were put off by it, I can almost guarantee you all of them are on board now.
I totally agree with you, and with one exception. I still hear in the media, particularly locally, and I hear it nationally as well, questioning, this has always been an interesting topic to me, questioning his ability to coach. Right? And so...
What does that mean?
That's a great question. Exactly what does that mean? a guy who took a program from 1-11 to 4-9 to 9-4.
Right.
If I don't know if he's not coaching, I don't know what the hell is going on, right? And so the analysis is I think it's because what we see from Coach Prime is so unique and so different that if he checks all the boxes in all the areas that you just enumerated, and he's a good coach,
Yes.
then there's nothing to really criticize.
No, man. I mean,
I heard someone in the media, one of your old friends in the media. You know, you guys in the media can be funny style sometimes.
Yes, we
but
can.
I heard him say, I heard him say something like we need to see if Coach Prime can coach. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, well, I don't know how much time.
I understand the statement.
Well, I mean,
I understand the statement.
well, then let's make the same statement for the Broncos head coach. Because their trajectories in this town has been pretty similar.
You know, that's a great point. Never thought about it like that.
I mean,
Not everybody liked Sean Payton when he got here. I can guarantee you that.
That's true.
No, that's for sure. He may have rubbed some people the wrong way, especially the handling of the Russell Wilson situation. That's for another day.
That's for another day.
That's for another day. But you're right. I think their paths kind of have been similar. But once again, if you know the man, then you know that part of that is Hollywood, okay? But that's not who he is as a person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not who he is as a person. You got to watch him coach the team. And this is the first year that I've actually been around him as a head coach at the University of Colorado. I go to games just like every other fan. I do, and I love going and being part of game day. But this year I got a chance to go down and watch him coach. And I got to tell you, it sounded like Coach Mack to me.
I'm telling you.
You know, we sat on the sideline together, and I'm like, hey, got to have that play. Got to make that play. Everything about it was good.
I'm telling you, man, it's hey, they turn the music up. We about to get crunk up in here, bro. You got.
That's what Friday nights are for.
We gonna make it rain. No, but you mentioned the fact that we've been to practice. What the 2 or 3 that we've been to? What's been your observation? What do you think?
I think the observation. Victory. See, knows no defeat.
So roll up that mighty score.
Never give
It's on and cracking at Mr. Oso's.
No, too short.
Over at the Moxie Hotel. Y'all come on down. We'll be here for another hour or so. Oh, yeah, it's game day. It's game day. You still get fired up. You get chills when you hear that fight
song? I still do,
song?
man. I mean, you know, the only reason that we get a chance, the only way that we get a chance to sing that song as football players is after a win.
That's right.
That was the only time we got a chance to actually sing the song
in the locker room.
You know, and I can see Coach Mack still standing right now saying, let's sing that song.
That's right. That's right.
After every win, after every win, he said, now let's sing that song.
Al,
that's the only time we can sing it after a win.
We are 35 years removed from singing that song in the locker room.
Right.
And I got to tell you, it still gives me that chill, that little butterfly, that little feeling in my gut to hear that song.
Let me tell you the story, man. Let me tell you the story. So after our junior year, we lose to Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl. And
it's 89 season.
After the 89 season. And here I was the Big A Defensive Player of the Year. I was everybody's All-American. And there was a rumor that I was going to go into the NFL draft. Looking back at it, you know.
Why wouldn't there be?
Why wouldn't it be? So I get a call first from Coach Bob Simmons, my position coach. He said, hey, man, what's this deal I hear about you going to the NFL draft? Of course they want to keep the team together. We want another run at a national championship.
Did you tell him, Coach, y'all ain't paying me enough?
Nah, you have to worry about that. In today's college football, right. I probably would have said it. I don't know. I think there is still some loyalty in today's college football, but right now the money talks, right? Money talking. But so I end up going into I told Coach Simmons, I said, No, man. No, I'm not going to the NFL draft. I said, who'd you hear that from? He said, there's agents around here. There's different people who want you to be part of the NFL. So I said, no, that's not the case. So I get another phone call. Coach Mack wants to see me. Bill McCartney wants to see me. He said, Alfred, I understand that there may be some NFL offers for you, and some agents around here are snooping in to see what you're going to do. Are you going to go play in the NFL? And he was sitting there talking to me with his arms folded like this. This is the way he sat in the chair. He always sat like this when he wanted to get your attention. He just sat like this, and he looked at you the only way that Matt could. And I said, no, Coach, I'm not going to the NFL draft. And he sat back like this. I said, now what I do want to do, I want a red shirt.
That's the Alfred Williams ism there. If ever
I said, no, Coach, I want a red shirt.
You go from being Big 8 Player of the Year
That's
to
right.
winning a red shirt.
Yes, because my roommate and one of my best friends is Canavis McGee, and he just was a much different athlete than I was. I mean, he was stronger, more powerful. He was quick, and I was like, I'm just not there yet. You know, like I thought I needed another year of strength building to be able to endure the NFL. And he said, you want to do what? I said, I want a red shirt.
That's crazy.
And he goes from sitting like this to, let me tell you why you shouldn't red shirt.
That's the conversation he wanted to have. Not the one about you going to. He wanted to have the red shirt conversation.
He wanted to have a conversation about me playing for the University of Colorado next year again. So that was that's one of my favorite stories, man, because he was so shocked that I would say that I wanted to bypass my senior year for one more year. The red shirt. I loved it here.
So let me tell you my story after the '89 season.
Just tell us your story.
CJ, heard you're going home. And he had a ticket on his desk for me one way to Detroit. No, just hey man, listen. Special teams. Do you feel like, I feel like CU's on the brink of breaking through. That's why I'm so excited about the season. And if you think about it, Deion comes on. He has two of the best players in the country that he brings in his Louis, right, as part of his Louis. Mm-hmm. And his star attraction attracted a number of other players on, primarily skilled position players. I get the sense, you and I, we've been to practice. We've seen him a few times. I get the sense we've gone beyond that. Now we're beginning to see the building of a football program. It started when he got here, but so much time and attention was paid to two of the top players in the country. Probably a Heisman Trophy winner ultimately, and I think the best quarterback in the country who came out last year. Different story, we'll have that conversation as well. The building blocks were being put in place from day one. I'm beginning to see or feel like the fruit of all that labor is about to be on display. I see a big physical team at the point of attack. I see a team that want to run the ball more. I see a quarterback, two quarterbacks. This kid, Juju Lewis, is going to be special. But of course, the transfer kid Salter is going to start tonight, probably start the season. I like where we are there, but this looks like a team that's built from the front back, from the inside out. And CU football will look more familiar to our past successful teams, more so than the more recent ones.
Right, and just so the audience understands and knows a little unknown fact, the University of Colorado hasn't had a 100-yard rusher since 2022.
That's crazy.
Okay, since 2022, we have not had a 100-yard rusher. We should live with our run game this year. This offensive line is one of the top 3 biggest offensive lines in all of college football, led by this kid, Jordan Seaton, who has just had a body transformation that's out of this world. I mean, he looks fantastic.
Looks
Not only he wears number 77, and he looks like he is going to be a top 3 or 4 player in next year's NFL draft. Well, 2 years from now, not this. in the 27 NFL draft, this guy should be a top, 3 or 4 player in all of the NFL. He is unbelievable. His balance, his stamina as a player. You got to understand, when you play college football, it's not the same way when we play. We play, you get 65 plays, 70 plays. These guys are playing somewhere in the neighborhood of 100-plus plays every game, and this guy looks as good on play 1 as he did in practice, as good. He looked just as good on play 50. And I think that goes to his strength and stamina, his flexibility. He's a great athlete. Arden Walker on the other side wears number 53.
Absolutely.
I think that he's going to be a terror from the outside perimeter, turning the corner. Those two practice against each other like it's game day. And just being able to watch those two guys go at it and see the size and strength of this offensive line. I'm from tackle to tackle. We're talking about one of the biggest teams in all of college football. Talking to Marshall Faulk walking out the field, we've had some running back issues because of injury, and that could be, that could show itself early on. If we have any significant injuries early on, we could be in trouble there. But as far as the talent goes, for the first couple guys, he likes it. So that was fun to hear. But watching the offensive line and defensive line has absolutely been a treat for me. This looks like the way the University of Colorado used to send out offensive linemen and defensive linemen.
It's funny, man. You mentioned depth. I think one of the key impactors of depth in college football has been the transfer portal.
Yeah.
You're too deep. I mean,
yep.
Our national championship had we are too deep.
Oh, too deep. Played in the NFL.
Played in the NFL, right? I think those days are gone. Because if I'm an NFL caliber player, I'm not waiting around. Somebody's offering me a bag.
True. Even at schools like Alabama.
That's right.
And Georgia,
That's
we're
right.
seeing those kids show up on rosters like ours.
That's exactly right.
So
it is. I think it's the thinning out of talent, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Right?
If the money's right, go.
I'm looking at the top 10 this year. I don't see in the top 5 or 4, I don't see Georgia. I don't see Alabama. I think that's an outcome of a transfer portal that's thinning out talent, and I think it makes the game more interesting for more fans.
Yeah, but tomorrow we start the college football season off with Texas versus Ohio State. I mean, that is just. I mean, if you're a college football fan, you can't ask for anything better than that combination of history and pageantry meeting together on the first big Saturday of the year, man. I mean, I can't wait to see that one.
Man.
I mean, I can't wait to see it. But tonight, as University of Colorado takes on Georgia Tech, this is a talented Georgia Tech team. We are not favorites in this game. But trust me, the University of Colorado is going to win it.
Oh, we're making predictions already.
Oh, I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
Okay, I
don't think people understand and know the difference in size and talent. Like I wish that the talent that was playing on that team last year at the skill position were here with this group of big guys that are on this year's team, and I think that we would have a chance at making it to the college football playoffs. I really believe that, man. You just got to see these dudes, man. I mean, these dudes eat a lot of pancakes. They eat a lot of pancakes.
Why pancakes?
Well, I mean, you want say breakfast sausage, pancakes. They eat a lot of eggs.
Okay,
I mean, these dudes, they eat hash browns. I'm telling you, these some big old dudes.
Some people swallow gum.
Well, if you swallow the gum, you could be bloated.
Hey, speaking of swallowing gum, man, let me tell you what Thaddeus did. We got one of our guys, man, who and this. So it's game day. This is classic game day stuff, right? So we walking around campus.
Love campus.
Atmosphere is electric.
Love
CU,
campus.
by the way, University of Colorado. If you don't believe me out there, the most beautiful campus.
Love campus.
In the country, just aesthetically, the most beautiful. If you get a chance to come visit, come on out and visit. We'll take care of you. We got a lot of water, good water. So. So we're having lunch at an establishment. There are all kinds of CU family there, right? And there was a family sitting kind of right next to us. So we get up, close our check, leave out. Thaddeus decides to, as a good former CU, one of the all-time greats would.
That's right, middle linebacker.
You know, they kind of noticed him, and so he goes over and shares a pleasantry with them and says it was two ladies and a younger gentleman, right? Looks like a teenager. He says to the ladies, says to one of the ladies, "Oh, you guys are going to the game. This is great. Your son and your mom." I said, "Uh-oh." She said, "No, that's my sister."
Wait a minute, say that again now. He said that. He thought
the one lady was the other lady's mother.
Oh.
So he was like, "Oh, it's so great. You and your mom hanging out at the game." She said, "No, it's
were
my
they
sister."
were they off by a lot of years? I mean,
I knew
listen,
it.
Listen,
I knew it
I've
as
seen
soon
some.
as I saw it.
Soon as
I knew
you
it
have
as soon
more
as I saw
tact
it.
than he does.
I said, "Thaddeus," I said, "Hey man, you gotta always start with, wow, your sisters are hanging out at the game, and let them tell you, oh no, I'm her mom."
Right. You start off like that.
It's kind of like going up to someone and saying, "Oh wow, how many months pregnant are you?" You better be sure she's pregnant, right? You can't. Some things you just.
I actually asked my aunt one time, how many months pregnant was she? My mama almost slapped the crap out of me, man. She said, "Boy, that girl ain't pregnant."
Did you ask the follow-up question?
I said, "I'm sorry."
How much gum did she swallow? That's horrible, man. That's horrible. So I heard a prediction.
Yeah, you heard a prediction. I think the University of Colorado is ready. You know, the question is, who's going to be our leading rusher? Is it going to be the quarterback or the runner?
I think it could very well be the quarterback.
I think it's going to be.
It's Caden Salter, this kid who transferred over from Liberty.
That's right. He looks so good.
Oh,
you're going to be happy
good.
with him.
Juju
you're going to be
Lewis,
very happy.
Man, I feel so good about our quarterbacks.
Yeah. He's young.
He's young. Well,
Okay.
Juju is.
Yeah, he's 18 years old.
Yep.
I mean, he's young.
Yep.
So.
He's young, and so he has time. I feel good about what we look like up front on both sides. I love our quarterbacks. How soon does it all come together?
I think the quality of the coaching that they have received is going to show itself early. I think that's the difference in this group of kids that maybe people don't understand. The quality of the coaching that they have, I think, will be able to show fairly quick. And I always worry, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but I always worry about our play calling. You know, I worry about our offensive play.
Is that a Pat Shermer issue?
I got an issue there. And I know.
You go back with Sherman. You guys.
Yeah, because he was offensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos, and it didn't look good. So if you have a big offensive line, you know, one of the biggest offensive lines in all of college football, will you stick with it, or will you want to air it out? You know, like don't do it, dog. Don't just you know. I can't imagine having this type of talent on the offensive line and not finding a way to creatively get run plays. It's got to happen.
Does the addition of Brian Leftwich ease some of your anxiety there?
No, because he's a quarterback. Don't quarterbacks want to throw the ball?
I think his success at Tampa
was
in part due to
Super Bowl champion.
Their balance, understanding that a good running game actually makes the passing game better.
Yeah, but man, I'm telling you, if we get through the first quarter and we have 20 plays and 10 of them aren't runs, I don't know, man. I may just turn the camera back on and say fire Pat Shermer. I'm not
we
lying.
haven't even played a minute of a game.
I don't care. I'm telling you, man. Like, when you look at this team, when you look at the team, you know what it's supposed to look like. They look like they're supposed to look. Like 2 years ago, they didn't look like this. Last year, they didn't look like this. This year is different. I mean, they have invested heavily in the offensive line and defensive line.
Totally agree. It looks like a team that's ready to go and play physical at the point of attack. 5 games before the month of September is over. 4 of the 5 are at home, starting tonight, as you mentioned, with Georgia Tech. I think this is a great opportunity for our alma mater to get this thing going quick, establish themselves. Home tonight, Georgia Tech, home against Delaware, at Houston, home against Wyoming, and then home against BYU.
That BYU
All
game is going to be
before
tough.
September's over. I think this is a great opportunity, and you're right. By the time we get, we'll know a lot tonight.
Right. I
But
think,
by the time we get to BYU, we'll know a lot more out.
you know what? If we're not 5-0, at worst case scenario, if everybody stays healthy, because in football, let's just face it, if you're healthy, this gives you the best chance of winning. If everybody's healthy, we should be looking at 5-0. So I know I'm saying a lot. At the worst case scenario, 4-5. That's what I see, because
4-1.
Excuse me, that's 4-1. Excuse me, 4-1. Never good at math. That's 9, isn't it?
You didn't have any problems counting all that money.
I meant to say
You
4
had no
out of 5.
You had no problem counting all that money. It's funny.
4
you
out
say
of
you ain't
5.
good at math.
So 4 out of. I think we should win 4 out of
Does
5.
it bother me that I talk about your money?
I don't have any money. Ask my wife.
She might believe you. I doubt it. 1-0. That's all I'm looking for.
That's it. You can't go 2-0 without going 1-0.
And here's the thing. First games always challenge me. I don't like first games because I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. Even more so now because the continuity in college football is in there. We've talked a lot about
The
it.
same issues that we have, every other team has.
Exactly.
So it's not that
That's
big
true.
of a deal.
That said, I think it's more pronounced with CU. I think the number is 111 players that were on last year's roster.
Yes.
Of that 111, 44 returns.
Right.
Of that 44, only 33 actually played a snap last year. And so of the 111 players from a year ago, only 33 returned who actually played a snap for CU.
8 of them are in the NFL.
8 of whom are in the NFL. That to me is what challenges me, and so we'll see. We'll see how this thing works out. First games, tough games. No relationship to what happened 35 years ago. I can't even conceive it. Right? It's kind of like two fighters,
Right.
who in their prime they never fought each other.
Right.
Then 15 years later, they fight and they both owe shot boxers, and you can never recreate what could have been.
This is why I like the University of Colorado at home tonight. This is the one thing that people never talk about, except for the coaches. When you play in Denver, Colorado, we are 5,280 feet of frustration. And I believe that's going to be taken out on Georgia Tech tonight.
Wait a minute, say that again?
5,280 feet of frustration.
Okay.
And if you are young in your season, and CJ, you got to understand, I signed my rookie deal. 2 weeks later, I came back to play the Denver Broncos.
When you're in Cincinnati.
When I was in Cincinnati. So I moved down to Cincinnati, which is the sea level, of course, or close to it. And I came back to Denver, Colorado to play the Denver Broncos. When I came back to play the Denver Broncos, it was like and it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks, that's it, just 2 weeks. In that 2 week time period, it felt like an elephant was standing on my chest trying to breathe.
What was her name?
I mean, it was hard.
What was her name?
I'll tell you this.
You weren't married then.
I was not married. But I'll tell you this.
3 in a black.
2 if they fat. I'll tell you this.
Oh boy.
What Georgia Tech is going to feel tonight is something they cannot duplicate in Georgia. They cannot duplicate
That's a good point.
this altitude and that if we get off to a great start.
That's a great point.
And that's why I say we got to run the football. If we get this team on the ropes, it's going to feel like the most awful football day that they possibly could have.
5280, Mile High, that's Denver.
That's Denver.
They got an even bigger hill to climb because in Boulder at Folsom Field is 5360.
Woo!
5360.
5360. Well, in Denver, it's 5280.
A lot for them to overcome. I agree with that, and we have to make the altitude play to our
That's
advantage.
right, and that's why you run the ball, because there's nothing like a grown man leaning on you time and time again. Eventually, something's got to give. Hey, man, let's take a break. Get out of here. Give me your prediction before we get out of here. Give me your prediction for the game. See you win, see you lost. Give me what you think's going to happen.
Like we've said, I think, and I've had my eyeballs on this team all off season.
Right.
I was curious to see how the look and feel of this environment would be post Shador, post Travis Hunter, right? Post Shiloh. Sort of that sort of class moving out, and now it's become a whole different look and feel. I couldn't be more impressed.
Right.
I like what I see as a football team, and for that reason, I think it'll be a nip and tuck game. I think Georgia Tech is a well-coached team.
Yep.
They have two
Huge
extremely talented players in that quarterback and that running back. That said, man, I believe in what Prime is building here. He's not just a coach that has top-end skill talent and will only go as far as they will take you. I think we'll see that starting tonight. I think the Buffs over Georgia Tech. I see, 35-23 kind of game.
Okay, that's good. I like the University of Colorado. I think it's going to be a 30-something game. I'm saying the University of Colorado 38-31 over Georgia Tech.
You know what I love, man? 38-31. Okay.
38-31
Okay.
because there's just way too many possessions in college football to call a game 20-something. I mean, 30 is normal. So 38 is what you're probably getting in most college football games. So to say anything in your 20s, I don't believe that's realistic.
Let me question for you. You just reminded me of it. It has nothing to do with the prediction. By the way, I noted your prediction, right?
Okay.
Gotcha. I kind of love the way when you address or make reference to your alma mater, you're so formal with it.
University of Colorado?
It's always the University of Colorado.
Yeah.
It's not CU or the Buffs. It's always the University of Colorado. What's that all about?
I don't know, man. I just feel like I just got lucky. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, I just got lucky, and I've always just loved my time around the University of Colorado and what it stands for, the good people that I've met over the years. It was, I met my best friends right here on campus. So I just rolled with them, rolled with the moment, rolled with this opportunity to talk about them every single time I get a chance. And I get to sit there and admire and understand what it's like to be a Golden Buffalo.
The University of Colorado.
University of Colorado.
Like, you remember when we met?
Let's go to the game. Let's go to the game. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
And of course, we'll be back with you following this up on Tuesday.
Absolutely.
See how it all works out.
That's right. And by the way, man, I want to shout out to the good folks down here at Mr. Oso, right off of campus, right here off of University and Broadway. It's the Moxie Hotel. My man Juan Padro, I saw him pop up a minute ago. Drew, the general manager down here, the whole crew, man. It's a blast. Good people, good food. By the way, make sure I'm gonna do a little post game wrap up this evening.
Okay.
To talk about the game. So
I'm so excited, man. I mean, if we play the way that I know that we can, and I know a lot has to do with the opponent as well. I'm looking for this team to be. I know Vegas has this team with 6 wins. I think we are over. I think we're over at least 2 or 3 games.
They had us 5.5 last year, and we won 9. Goes to show what Vegas know when it comes to the University of Colorado.
I think they like making people bet on Colorado rich.
Hey, listen, it's the 5th game. It's the 5th down post-game show.
There you go.
Coming up after the game, make sure you tune in. Check us out on YouTube. my peeps at Guerilla Sports, making it happen. Enjoy the game, everybody.
Enjoy it.
You know how long you went?
No.